Storks is what I like to call a really movie. A really movie is when you look at the trailer for an upcoming movie, regardless of how good or bad the movie ultimately turns out, but you watch the trailer and you find out what the premise is, and then you see all the dumb gags they decide to throw into the trailer, and then you just roll your eyes and go, really? A lot of movies can fall under this category, mostly animated movies, sadly. You can often identify a really movie because if you watch the trailer and some character does something stupid, and then they'll immediately cut to another character and they'll go, really? If I recall, one of the Madagascar movies was like that. There was the trailer where Chris Rock's character was doing Afro Circus, and then they immediately cut to Alex and he went, really? But like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean the movie's going to be bad, which in the case of Storks, it turned out to be pretty good. So the premise of this movie is that storks stop delivering babies because it's not profitable for them, and they decide to become sort of an Amazon delivery service for a fake company. And I already have so many questions. The main character is Junior, voiced by Andy Samberg, who is one of the delivery storks who's about to be promoted to boss. But before he can become boss, he has to fire Tulip, voiced by Katie Crown, who is an orphan that was left behind years ago and ended up growing up and working for the storks. However, she accidentally creates a baby and they need to deliver it to its family before the other storks find out. This movie is all about the gags and the character interactions, mostly between Junior and Tulip, because on their journey they have to take care of the baby and they end up playing the role of mother and father to it, and they argue a lot and they have to take care of it, and you know, I will admit their interactions got a little weird at times. I do like how this movie doesn't romanticize having a baby. I mean, they do show that having a baby can be great, but they also greatly portray how much work has to go into it and how much sleep you're gonna lose. By far, the best part of this movie was the wolves. You probably saw the trailer where they turn into the wolf submarine. There are a lot of gags like that, and they're hilarious. And I also didn't find out until later that the two main wolves were voiced by Key and Peele, so that just made it even more funny. I guess I really only have two complaints about this movie. One was Junior's boss was such a cliche. He seemed to just be a dick for the sake of being a dick, with very little motivation. But by far the worst part about this movie was this character who was a pigeon, and he kept showing up throughout the movie, and they tried so hard to make this character funny, and it was just not working. It was more stupid and annoying than anything. But the good thing about this movie was that it had a lot of heart. It was about finding your place in the world, and it was about family, because throughout the movie we kept cutting back to the family that they were delivering the baby to, and they showed that the son, you know, wanted to play with the adults a lot, but they were too busy you know, running their business and everything, and they kind of neglected him. But over the course of the movie, they paid more attention to him, and they got away from their jobs and played with him a bit, and it was really nice. And without spoiling anything, the movie ended in the best possible way, so yeah, I'd say this was a good one, despite the trailers being awful, which is just a thing we have to accept nowadays, apparently. But yeah, Storks was surprisingly good. It was a really good kids movie. There was a lot of funny gags in it, so I definitely recommend it. So that's all I got for Storks. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of it. My name is Rob, and have a wonderful day.